5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for inviting me to go on our latest trade mission to Brazil. We had a whirlwind trip. We got to see the growth in Brazil. We got to see massive preparation for the World Cup and the Olympics, and probably more infrastructure projects that I have seen anywhere except in Texas. We have a lot of infrastructure going in Texas, and a couple of questions have come from that. I understand that there is some restrictions on reinsurance in the liability insurance in Brazil, and that there is some issue about allowing foreign companies to come in and write reinsurance insurance. Is there any response to that?
Well, AES is very capital intensive. We insure about $42 billion of assets around the world, including Brazil. We have not had any issues with reinsurance. We have a captive insurance program that we run from Arlington here in Virginia, and Brazil participates. So we really have not had that issue directly.
Okay. Another question. We just in the news recently read about Brazil's abandoning its tax on foreign investment inflows. Apparently, the worries about hot money have dissipated, and Brazil is now concentrated on its basically concerned about currency depreciation. And what does this mean for U.S. investors, and has it changed the climate of the way U.S. investors, big investors, are looking at Brazil?
Well, again, people like us who invest in infrastructure projects, we invest for 30 or 40 years. So basically, I think I haven't seen any, that policy in and of itself is favorable in terms of people being able to make more investment, but really these are driven by fundamentals and your long-term views. So I don't see it will have an impact more in terms of financing, but I do think that, especially us for large infrastructure projects, we prefer to finance them in the local currency to avoid having liquidity issues due to devaluations, et cetera.
We have a couple of companies in my area, Vermeer and Johnson & Johnson, that have significant operations in Brazil. And I would just like to solicit the comments on both of those companies, on your experiences and your plans to expand there.
Yeah, thank you, Congressman, for the question. Again, and I think I would like to echo, I mean, our presence in Brazil was Johnson & Johnson for more than 80 years. We always think more in terms of long term. We do have, Brazil is our second biggest consumer-affiliated company outside of U.S. in terms of size. We do have one of our largest manufacturing facilities in São José dos Campos that produce both pharmaceuticals, device, and consumer products for the Brazilian market. And we also export, as we also import to the Brazilian market a lot of products, some of those produced in the United States. So we do have, continue to be very bullish on the Brazil economy, and in terms of our future growth in the country, we continue to invest and be very committed to the market. I would say that some of the short-term changes on the investors market, I think was said here, there is a high level of sensitivity on inflation, and the central bank continues to act pretty diligently in order to make sure that we continue inflation be under the parameters and the target agree. So I think that's what we might see short term, but I don't think that changes our view long term.
Okay. Mr. Hunt?
I think in our case, we only see our investment ramping up in Brazil. Again, the markets we serve, infrastructure, energy, renewables, and agriculture, we believe we're at the beginning stage of development. So our investment will increase. But really in the near term, I would say the next 5 years, we see primarily most of our business being generated out of manufacturing from the U.S. In the future, we may do more manufacturing in Brazil, but for our focus right now, it's really building out local distribution. It's building out the relationships and really extending into the markets that I described earlier. So it is our top market that we're focused on. And again, I think not only for Vermeer as a medium-sized company, if we can help companies like ours navigate the opportunity in Brazil much simpler, lower cost, make it more efficient to export. I think there's many companies like Vermeer that can come along and enjoy tremendous success in Brazil and have just a very, very exciting future.
Thank you, Mr. Marchant.